It keeps the state Supreme Court liberal-leaning.
This campaign has been an incredible, life-altering experience.
Susan Crawford won the most expensive state Supreme Court race in U.S. history. About $100 million were spent, a lot of it by Elon Musk, backing conservative Brad Schimmel.
I can't thank you enough for everything you did to try to make this a success, but it just didn't work.
Two Republicans won special elections in Florida.
You have entrusted me with something extraordinary, the opportunity to go and fight for you.
Randy Fine and Jimmy Patronis won open seats in Congress in heavily Republican districts despite being far outspent by Democrats in the campaign. It gives Republicans a slightly bigger House majority, 220 seats. President Trump is readying new tariffs today on more imports targeting countries that charge for American exports. He calls it Liberation Day.
There's still a lot, though, that's still unknown, including what the president's announcement entails, the full details, also what countries might be able to work out deals to avoid this crackdown.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. They pulled another survivor from earthquake rubble in Burma, buried alive over 100 hours. But the number of deaths, nearly 3,000. Israel is at Gaza with airstrikes that Palestinians say killed 30 people. The Israelis say they targeted a Hamas terror command center.
The militant group still holds 59 captives, of whom 24 are believed to be still alive. An estimated 140,000 people have been told to evacuate this week alone as the Israeli armed forces ramp up their offensive.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, a star of movies in the 80s and 90s, has died. Val Kilmer.
You figured it out yet? What's that? Who's the best pilot?
Kilmer's best known for his role as Iceman in Top Gun, playing him again in the sequel a few years ago.
The Navy needs Maverick.
It was Kilmer's last role. His voice weakened after throat cancer. Val Kilmer died of pneumonia at age 65. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number, 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
And another federal judge has ruled against President Trump. This one out in California, ordering legal aid be restored to unaccompanied migrant children in the U.S. after legal aid groups had sued over their funding being cut by the Trump administration. Now, the Senate is going to hold a hearing this morning into what Republicans call judicial activism, the day after a similar House hearing.
These rogue judge rulings are a new resistance to the Trump administration.
Congressman Darrell Issa at yesterday's House hearing. He's proposing legislation to limit the scope of those rulings, not allowing nationwide injunctions. But Democratic Congressman Hank Johnson says judges need to step in to rein the president in.
Trump acts first. He deports first. He revokes funding first. He blacklists law firms first, and then questions anyone who challenges him later.
Another hearing focused on the thousands of newly declassified files from the Kennedy assassination ordered by President Trump, documents sealed for decades.
Vietnam Army veteran and filmmaker Oliver Stone asking lawmakers to reopen the investigation into President Kennedy's 1963 assassination.
The chain of custody on the rifle, the bullets, the fingerprints, the autopsy.
Stone co-wrote and directed the 1991 political thriller titled JFK, which depicts the killing as a government conspiracy.
What did the CIA know about Lee Harvey Oswald, and when did they know it? A whole lot.
Journalist and expert researcher on the topic, Jefferson Morley, telling lawmakers he believes Kennedy's own government was the intellectual author of the president's violent death, and Oswald was influenced by the CIA. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, there could be more selling at the opening bell. Dow futures are down 200 the day after a slight 11-point Dow decline to start April after a big March sell-off. The NASDAQ gained 150 points to start the month. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A Mahomet Seymour school bus involved in a crash in North Mahomet on Monday. It happened on Illinois Route 47 at County Road 2600 North. The car rear-ending the bus. 3 people were aboard the bus at the time, a driver and 2 students. Good news, no injuries. University of Illinois is celebrating 100 years of historic George Huff Hall. Huff has hosted hundreds of sporting and campus events over the decades. The hall, originally named New Gymnasium when it opened in 1925, New Gymnasium renamed George Huff Gym in 1937 after the longtime Illinois athletic director who died back in 1936. In Urbana, thousands of books on sale for just $1 or $2 each. UC Books to Prisoners, hoping to raise money to keep sending books to inmates throughout the state. Incarcerated people write to them asking for types of literature, and volunteers match them with books. Since January, they have sent out 1,600 books across the state. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, that's the kind of the news service. It's going to be dial a meteorologist, and you'll pay $4.99 for a forecast for your region. That's what I did this morning with
Get
Solier.
the Greg Solier app.
No, it's exactly right. And
For some reason, I don't hear my messenger go off. I think I'm having dinner with the IT guy tonight. Oh. Both sons, so they can figure out on my phone why I'm not getting.
That's exactly right.
Because Diane, Diane went through Messenger, and I looked at it the next morning. Oh, when did this come in? And then it was last night I saw it. So we'll get to the bottom of this, sir. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no worries. Gracie's driving from Cincinnati back to Champaign for a day or two, and then she's headed on the road with the Reds with Jacob. But the storm's all over the heck, and I know. I'm thinking basement possibilities tonight, buddy.
Right.
I mean, it's
just in case. So by the way, she's making that I-74 corridor run, right?
She's going through 74 through Indy is kind of the route we go, I know there's scattered showers around Indy. As you see, Brother Johnny's here, so I said it's $4.99 for your local forecast where you're going. You just dial into Solier. He tells you specifically what it's going to be like in Sri Lanka, and you pay $4.99. Boom.
Yeah,
that's not a bad deal.
You guys are family, so don't worry about it. So
boom.
There you go. I'll be the color man for $1.
There you go.
Sold. You're in. You're signed.
All right, off and running. It's ESPN 93.5. Diane Ducey with our sponsor. It's Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking for members of the team. If you're interested in healthcare and an opportunity to serve others, carl.org/careers.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier would look at some turbulent stuff coming through Missouri and that kind of band that extends down to what, Texas?
Yeah.
I mean,
man, how much time we got here? But
take your time. This is important, sir.
It is.
It is, yes, very well. Thank you very much. And that run from Gracie, there are some thunder showers north and east of Indy, but they are tracking and developing along and just slightly east of I-74. They've had a couple of hail reports on the north side of Indianapolis, and but I think outside of seeing some lightning, perhaps off to her right or the north and east horizon, she has a probably pretty good run. Concerned that that by the time she gets back in here to East Central Illinois, we're going to be watching that stuff, as you mentioned, make its way, and it's kind of mushrooming out, meaning the cloud tops are beginning to warm, but is just copious amount of moisture. So we think these are going to be this morning heavy rain event makers across the area, and it is just that solid, running from northwest to north Illinois, showers and thunderstorms around the Chicagoland area. Forget about travel up there this morning, with a lot of water on the roadways, and speaking of which, that is through eastern Iowa, northern Missouri, back at eastern Kansas. So storms do grow severe. Columbia, the I-70 run on south and southwest. I think the stuff that comes by this morning is a heavy rain event in spots. It's this afternoon with at least an enhanced risk here, moderate risk just slightly south of us, and a high risk. There will be a tornado outbreak. That's the way you label it. And by the time you hit maybe south of I-64 into southeastern Missouri, we're going to get headlines down there, unfortunately, and back into western Kentucky. And then it's a heavy rain event in some of the same areas that had heavy rain back in mid-February, i.e. Kentucky, Tennessee, eastern Missouri, but we'll be on the northern flank of that here in east central Illinois. Could have a half a foot of rain here over the next 3 to 5 days. That will make a big improvement on draw. Big range of temperatures this morning, as you would expect, from 69 at St. Louis, 55 here in Champaign, and barely above 40 at the Kankakee. So we got a wind advisory as well in effect across the area. Flood watches for now south of Champaign, but those I think will get probably lifted northward as the next couple of days wear on. A couple of showers and thunderstorm outbreaks this morning. Some pretty healthy downs downpours. Don't think there'll be any widespread severe this morning. Heads up on the general south wind, though, 25 to 35, gust to 50 miles per hour, 72. Later this afternoon, first part of tonight, probably a weather watch with a line or two of stronger severe storms. I think the worst, in quotes, of all of this, again, is going to be in southern Illinois. Lows tonight near 50. Clouds tomorrow, a bit of rain early and late, 63. A couple of more showers Friday morning. Then a heavy rain event gets going late Friday night into Saturday morning. 61 on Friday, 50s for Saturday and Sunday, upper 40s on Monday, frost freeze Tuesday and Wednesday, and even a couple of snowflakes are mixed into the last of the rain come Monday.
Well, you know what? This would be boring if it wasn't so interesting. Because
we like boring whatsoever.
So is there a chance I got to listen for sirens and stuff tonight? Maybe.
Yeah. It's kind of like. The stuff that came through here Sunday, we didn't have the morning batch, and sometimes when you get that morning activity, it takes a while to what we call recharge the atmosphere. You got to get some sun on it. You got to get the atmosphere to turn on over. So the wind may do that, but we'll see about how much sun we can get into this atmosphere. That's why I think the worst, in quotes, not that we won't have severe weather, strong storms, but the worst of it, I think, with a significant severe weather and tornado outbreaks, is going to be in southern Illinois, southeastern Missouri, the Boot Hill, and western Kentucky and Tennessee. But again, there'll be probably some sirens and weather watches and warnings here this afternoon and evening.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you, bud. Hang in there.
You betcha. That's our meteorologist, Greg Solier, and off and running on this Tuesday. Wednesday. I have to look at the screen sometime. And good to have you listening. Glad you're alive. Glad you're semi-alert here this morning as you're driving around wherever you're going. Thank you for listening to us.
I was just looking at Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons on Election Day. Said about 6,000 people had voted in person that day. 4,000 had voted early. I know you were expecting what?
I said 10.
Yeah. He estimates 15 to 20% of the voters will participate in the election, pretty much on trend. But that was a prediction. Now, he's still expecting voters to, the mail-in ballots and unofficial results.
Can't be too many mail-ins for this one. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't think so.
No, it just can't be. I mean, the numbers aren't there. Although I did not realize you can vote anywhere, and so I voted next door here in Philo.
And I happened to be in an event for people with disabilities in the transition of life.
Today's Worldwide National Autism Day.
I know.
So.
Thank you for recognizing that. But because of that, I was at the Champaign Public Library and was able to vote for my Tolono mayor, which is, at this point, Terrence Stuber, the first African-American to be Tolono mayor.
Oh, he won.
Uh-huh.
I did not see all the results, returns. You can always text us if you want us to know something. We'll broadcast that.
That's right.
There's a whole lot of small town things that went on that were of interest here. And sometimes there was only one little race within a small little town.
Right.
Like us in Philo, I think there's one contested race.
Rantoul's mayoral race isn't called yet because I think it's less than 10 votes.
Well, I was going to say it's 312 to 310. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's what we said. Your vote would have counted more.
426 to 432 or something.
Yeah. So I mean, how many live in Rantoul? 20,000, 10,000, whatever the number is. So yesterday you had a chance to be the man, be the woman.
Right.
Your vote would have counted lots more, and so. There's that. So if you voted, good for you.
Rantoul population just over 11,000.
Well, it used to be a lot more Chanute.
I know.
Nobody knows what that is. 1990, they had an Air Force Base in Rantoul.
Oh, my goodness. Such a great time of life.
Yeah. All right, we check your sports headlines. The Cardinals lost again.
Yeah, but it sure was exciting. My son Aiden and I staying in the car to listen to some of the extra innings. They went to 11, but Angels on top 9-7. Here's your Redbird recap.
The Redbird recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney. 2 nights in a row, the Cardinals and Angels have played extra innings. The Angels won a 1-run game on Monday, and then last night won a 2-run game 9-7 in 11 innings.
The 10th inning was really exciting as the Angels scored 3 runs in the top half. The Cardinals battled back to at least send it to one more inning, but they ran out of magic in the bottom of the 11th. The Angels hit better with runners in scoring position during the game than the Cardinals did.
Well, it was a matter of Kyron Paris coming through with a big hit with 2 down in the 11th, and Yoan Moncada coming through with a 2-run double to give them a 3-run lead, and the Cardinals got only 1 in the bottom of the 11th.
The Cardinals did get another good start. This time it was Matthew Liberatore who went 6 innings.
The Cardinals are going to try to salvage a game in this 3-game series behind Sonny Gray this afternoon. afternoon. And it's Yosei Kikuchi who's going to make the start. He's a left-hander for the Angels. We're on the air at 11:20 as the Cardinals lost last night 9-7.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
So I know the Cincinnati Reds came up short yesterday.
Yeah, lost 1-0. My son-in-law got up in the bottom of the ninth, and Jacob got a hit. He was the tying run. They tried to bunt him over. They forced him out at second, and that was his night. But he did well and got a nice line drive base hit to right that really got it going, but could not get that tying run across. The Evaldi pitcher that's 35 years old. I don't know. I think he's throwing a no-hitter. He's terrific, and he went a complete game in this day and age. But anyway, that's your son-in-law update. So.
But, I mean, pretty cool to see on the scoreboard or whatever. Batting 1,000.
Well, he's not getting a lot of opportunities, but you're right. No, that's good. That's great.
It looks awesome. Yeah. And there's an 11:40 game in case you're trying to adjust your day, Stevie, with the Texas Rangers.
They played that early? Well, it's a getaway day. They go to Milwaukee.
That's right.
We might be there this weekend.
Okay.
Go see some games.
Milwaukee, they have a good chance of winning. I'm hearing the Brewers haven't been doing
They won yesterday 5-0.
Okay, well, that's good.
We wanted them to win once before we came to town. So
okay, gotcha.
We hope they don't win again, though.
And Cubs over the A's 7-4 yesterday. They'll have a day game at 2:35. Jamison Tallon on the mound. Minnesota and Chicago White Sox with the day game. If you want to head up to Chicago South Side with a 1:10 start. Twins on top yesterday. That final was 8-3. Now, did you hear it wasn't an April Fool's Day joke? Morez Johnson Jr. is going to be a Wolverine.
Yeah, that was hard.
That stings.
That's a toughie.
Going to Michigan.
Could have gone to Kansas. Come on, Morez, go to Kansas. Get out of
that doesn't hurt as much as this.
A lot of money up there too, so I'm sure he got what he wanted. But Ty Rogers is coming back.
Yes.
That's a huge deal for a kid that now has become the old man on the team.
I'm pretty much.
And he's good.
And he's been there after redshirting in our 22-win season.
It was definitely the other way of possibility of transfer. And I was told that in the last month, and again, Trey White's gone. That's kind of Ty's position. So anyway, he probably saw the opportunity. Plus, he's just a great teammate, man. Yeah. And he's an older guy that's been around. He was with the Terrence Shannon.
That's right.
So I'm thrilled. And what a good character guy. So
right.
I'm excited.
And could be the glue and the leadership that we need.
He's a good player. Oh, he can't shoot. I don't know. He might have gotten better from the 10, 15-foot range. But the bottom line is the kid rebounds and can dunk.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I'm excited. Ty Rogers is back. So far, my starting lineup is Ty Rogers and Jake Davis.
Yes.
There's only two I absolutely know are coming back.
I guess Casey Booth
got another team.
Colorado
Okay.
State. Is where he's going.
All right.
Illinois baseball over ISU. That final was 8-2. Illinois softball over Western 7-6.
Okay, Elise Knutsen's ISU women's team played tonight in the semifinals in Bloomington Normal. Go all-time scorer Elise Knutsen for Unity High School and has scored, 3,000 points in college? Unbelievable. We check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier with the very latest of this important weather day.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Freeze on Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. Active and moisture-laden, to say the least. A very windy and much warmer day ahead with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms here. Mid to late morning with some heavy downpours of rain. The storms are back in mid to late afternoon and evening time. Those could grow strong and severe. South wind gusting 50 miles per hour later on this afternoon. 72, a warmer day. Down tonight to 50 with a strong southwest wind gusting to 45 miles per hour. Showers and thunderstorms could be severe this evening. For the day tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, cooler at 63. A little rain early, more so in the afternoon. A couple of showers and 45 tomorrow night. And a Friday outlook of showers and some heavier downpours with a couple of thunderstorms Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning. 61 on Friday, 54 on Saturday, breezy, and a couple of showers here Sunday morning. Highs near 55, a little rain snow mix on Monday morning at 48. Frost and freeze Tuesday and Wednesday morning with highs in the low 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. UC Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are under pressure again as investors wait for the reveal of Trump administration tariffs today. European shares are trading lower, and Bitcoin is holding around the 85,000 mark. Volvo Cars says its sales declined 10% in March. Sales of its fully electric cars slumped. Volvo Cars are majority owned by China's Geely. This week's Hooters bankruptcy is the latest in a string of casual dining restaurants in trouble. The Wall Street Journal says Red Lobster, TGI Fridays, and Buca de Beppo filed for Chapter 11 last year. And this year, Bar Louie and On the Border, Mexican Grill and Cantina, also filed to reorganize. Restaurants are dealing with inflation, sluggish sales, and mounting debt. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
I'm Charles Payne. Listen to my Unstoppable Prosperity podcast so I can get you making money right now. 35 years on Wall Street taught me how to successfully invest in the stock market. In my 4-part series, I'm going to teach you too. Some of Fox Business's finest join me to help tell my story, impart crucial lessons from my Unstoppable Prosperity book, and to give you the tools to achieve your own financial dreams.
Listen anytime, everywhere at foxbusinesspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. Some of the things that sellers can do to increase the value of their home.
We get this on almost every listing appointment. Hey, Nate, what can we do to increase the value of our home? We want to sell in a couple weeks. Are there some simple things we can do around the house? Or there's some major things that we can do around the house to increase the value or get a return on our investment? And again, not every home is created the same and not every situation is the same. So if we walk in there, there's definitely some items that we can do. Paint, floors, and hardware are the easy items where you get your biggest return out of every time. That's easy to say. But there's a lot of times where we'll get questions from sellers where they're asking us, should I update my bathroom? Where should I stop on my floors? Should I redo my roof? Should I do mechanicals? And I think a lot of that plays into the overall scope of your goals. We like to get into the house when it's really not even ready for the market. We can get in there and usually save that seller a lot of money and a lot of wasted time and energy by just offering some simple advice on how we would treat it if it was our own.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
All right, Tim Onsa, tell me how you're doing at Dedicated Diesel and the Dixie Chopper. You have any late model deals here I can make?
Yeah, there are fall deals on everything. We've got 3 or 4 used machines in there that Andy's looking to get rid of. We still have some new models, very few, limited of those, but those are going to be at the lowest prices that you can get. If you give us a price and it's close to what our dealer invoice is, he'll go for it.
Okay.
We'll do that and get rid of it.
Good time to buy then.
It's a great time to buy. Best prices you can get, and if you need service, now's the time to bring them in to get them serviced and get ahead of the rush and get ready for spring.
Gail Frericks Trucking, can people apply just to give you a resume?
We actually are starting a waiting list now for drivers for our regional van over the road. We've got a good group right now, and we're blessed with it.
What's the location?
1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. They can reach me at the office at 765-793-7131.
Are you ready to upgrade your home this spring? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has got the sale for you. Now through the end of March, offering a free water heater with the purchase of a new HVAC system, or 60 months, 0% interest on financing for a new HVAC system. It's the biggest sale of the year. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Get a free quote for your home today. It's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
I really like Zach Brown. I don't know, just Americana stuff, patriotic and the whole thing.
Right.
And just simple, easy. Anyway, this is bumper for that.
When we have our pipe dreams, we kick around having him at Memorial Stadium, and what a great show that would be. It's actually the 40th anniversary of Farm Aid.
Is it? Well,
he would be on the bill with Willie Nelson and some of the guys who were there at the beginning, Neil Young.
Willie's like 90.
94?
Wow.
Maybe?
Yeah, anyway, it's good to have you listening. It's Wednesday. Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. is coming up. We had to catch up with him in the 6 o'clock hour, so we have that rolled tape 45 minutes ago with Ed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a lot of interesting things to say. U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. is a big office. It's 1,000 people he's in charge of now, including 400 smart attorneys. So we'll get with Ed here in a few minutes with Brother Johnny, who's actually in town. So that's also just ahead. And again, day games, because teams have what they call getaway in baseball, get out to their next city. It's early games. They get away on their plane. They take private jets. They have jets.
Right. Nice, all our favorite teams are doing the day games today.
Because they got road trips this week, so they're off and running. Hey, I don't know what to say about Morez Johnson Jr. going to Michigan, except darn it. A lot of teams wanted him, including Ohio State. That would have been better than Michigan.
Right.
But, yeah, and listen, great kid, ambitious father. I mean, you always have, I think, about every one of those players have people that are going to be a huge influence. And obviously his dad is a big one, and that's fine. That's great. It's trying to do the best for his son.
Uh-huh.
And maybe he, I don't know how you could, Morez was going to be in there starting every game next year for us.
He started 8. He was in 30 games.
He broke his wrist. He was going to start the rest of the year, and he got hurt. And he was learning his first semester just coming out of high school. And so he was, And as far as his jump shot, they want him to be able to move out and shoot more. Okay, but you got to make them. And he didn't get that opportunity. He's more of inside rebound. He's a rebounding machine. Mm-hmm. But boy, is that valuable to a team. Yeah. But he wants to be more, wants to head to the NBA and all those things that everybody wants.
I get it.
I want to go to the league, and maybe they didn't, always. I tell the story about being on the phone with Bill Self years and years ago when he left Illinois. And I called him. I was friendly with him, and anyway, so I was on hold, and he came back on and said, sorry, Stevie. I was on the phone with my center's dad, and he says, I'm not using his son right. And I said, sir, your son starts on the number 1 team in America.
Right.
So he's not happy because he needs to get the ball more.
Yes.
So we don't even think about with cell
more
phones,
minutes.
And the family influence and the girlfriend influence, all these things that are happening that, forget NIL. I'm talking about the dad needs to talk to you. And
you got to keep him happy.
You got to talk to him.
Yeah.
And it's that's just the coaches are just constantly dealing with stuff. And so meanwhile, you're off and running this whole. How many kids are going to have a team? There are thousands that come out. 1,500 are in the portal?
Right.
It's musical chairs now.
I know.
Oh, I didn't want to go there. Well, that's what you got. I shouldn't have left Illinois.
Right.
So you better have, and again, I say your people somewhat facetiously, but not really.
Not really.
Because they've got people. You're not supposed to have an agent. Bah. Okay, so you have people. You can call them whatever you want. But they're agents.
Right. At 217-359-2255 during the drive with Lonte and Derek Piper and Kyle Tosk yesterday, there was talk about New Illini.
Yeah.
Now that's Zvonimir Ivicic.
We know Isevich or Ivicic. We know Tomislav. And if that meant keeping him, I would.
Why not get the twin brother
I
on
would
board?
go to Tomislav and says, do we want your brother here? And if he says, of course, then get him.
Yes.
You totally take him. If he comes off the bench, gets you 5 rebounds, he's not as talented as Tomislav, but he's a good player.
Sure.
And he's 7'2".
Right.
So, I mean, we were lacking inside bigs. So I would take him. We got this Jaxis kid coming back. He's 7'2", and he apparently has gotten a lot better this year in his redshirt year. So we will see what.
And it was interesting when Tomislav played against Big Z when he played for Arkansas.
Yeah, and Tomislav made all those threes.
That's right.
And he's just good.
I mean, if it fires up to be around a relative, let's do it.
Hey, but then again, he might says, "I'm leaving if you bring my brother." No, he's not going to say that.
That's
right. Make sure. But I would totally take a player that probably isn't where he's not going to start. But if it, practice, everything else, he'll help in the game some. He'll be another big. Anyway, you might as well go play craps. It's a crap shoot when you're talking. Who's going to be The starting lineup.
Roll of the dice.
I probably need
know.
to do the contest again.
Maybe.
5 of you got it last year.
Right.
You knew the starting lineup in June. Come on, man. How
An
would you do
NBA
that?
best 61 points from Nikola Jokic yesterday, but the Timberwolves were beat by the Denver Nuggets in double overtime.
Yeah, Jokic is pretty good.
I know.
Yeah.
140 to 139, the Denver Nuggets lost in that double overtime, but played 52 minutes.
Jokic hit.
Yeah. 61 points, an NBA best.
Yeah, he shoots the
and
three.
a triple-double because he got 10 assists and 10 rebounds.
And he's 7-1 or 2.
Right.
So he's
they
like
said
Thomas.
he didn't even go in at halftime. He just said, "Coach, leave me in. Leave me. I'm in the zone. I'm."
Okay.
Wow.
The news next. We'll be right back. Glad you're listening. It's 7:30 ESPN 93.5. Check with Fox now.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. This afternoon, President Trump announces his plan for broad-based tariffs on imports from around the world.
Addressing the decades of unfair trade practices that have ripped our country off and American workers off.
These tariffs are a tax increase on American families, plain and simple.
White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt and top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer. Wisconsin Supreme Court will have a 4-3 liberal majority. Susan Crawford beating Brad Schimmel, both supported by out-of-state billionaires.
A lot of money has been spent on this contest by the likes of Republican donors like Elon Musk. Liberals will control Wisconsin's highest court, and that could impact high-profile court cases involving things like abortion, union collective bargaining, and future congressional maps could be challenged and redrawn down the line.
That's Fox's Jeff Paul. In Florida, Republicans win both special elections for vacated House seats. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, Toledo Fire Protection looking for volunteers, expanding their search for help. District began a volunteer duty shift program. It allows people from up to 25 miles outside town to apply to become a volunteer firefighter or other responder. They currently have some empty lockers and are branching out to fill them. University of Illinois celebrating 100 years of historic George Huff Hall during this year's academic year. Huff has hosted hundreds of sporting and campus events over the decades. The hall was originally named New Gymnasium when it opened back in 1925. In Urbana, thousands of books on sale for just $1 or $2 each. UC Books to prisoners, hoping to raise money to keep sending those books to inmates throughout the state of Illinois like they have for the past 20 years. Incarcerated people write to them asking for types of literature, and then volunteers match them with the books. Since January, they've sent out about 1,600 books across Illinois. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Our weather this morning with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
We know when it comes to weather, you want to make sure the rainwater stays in your gutters and out of your basement so you can get that gutter helmet and you'll never have to clean your gutters again. You can learn more, get a free estimate, kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign and vicinity. Stay up to date. Later forecast right here. Watches and warnings are expected. And already a wind advisory with a south wind gusting to 45 to 50 miles per hour later on this morning and this afternoon. A much warmer day. A couple of periods of showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well with a heavy downpour this morning. And severe weather lurks for the afternoon with a couple of thunderstorms too. Highs up at 72. Strong, maybe severe thunderstorms in parts of the area early on tonight. Lows near 50. Southwest wind gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour, diminishing in the overnight. Cooler tomorrow. Clouds and a bit of rain late morning, moisture for the afternoon at 63. A couple of showers and 45 tomorrow night. More rain for Friday, especially in the afternoon. Friday night and Saturday, that could turn heavy. Highs up to 61 on Friday. A Saturday high 54. A couple of showers early Sunday and a rain snow mix Monday morning. We turn cooler into the first half of next week as well. 55 on Sunday, upper 40s on Monday. High temperatures low and mid 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. Frost and freeze in the morning as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., and our, what used to be every week with Man Got Busy. Here we go. He is Ed Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Ed, how are you, man? We miss you.
Well, I'm doing great. I'm embarrassed that I missed a couple of days with you guys because I always think of it during the early part of the week, and then sometimes the days just slip by. And the other day, the phone rang. I could see it was you guys, but I was in this briefing, and there's nothing I could do to get out. And I missed you on my birthday. My birthday was a couple of Wednesdays ago too, and I didn't even. I figured we'd get Johnny singing to me or something. And,
well, I'll tell you what, Ed.
So
it's birthday day today for Stevie J. April 2nd.
Come on,
I
man.
remember 66 years ago. Was I supposed to tell everybody?
Hey, it's fine because Ed's the baby in this.
Yeah,
group.
no
That's
kidding.
Wow. Well, happy birthday! There you go.
Happy birthday to you,
Happy
Ed.
birthday to you, Ed. You're serving your nation, and you are vital to the Donald Trump administration, and you're doing some great work.
And don't forget, Steve, at 7:30, yeah, but he's at 8:30. By then, they're almost pushing towards lunch. Things are going full speed by then.
All right. Well, would you please assess what's going on? Well, firstly, is it as a disaster as some have said? The Supreme Court goes liberal in Wisconsin. What does that mean, Ed?
Well, first of all, Wisconsin's a tough state to figure out, right? And it's a tough state. You got a guy like Senator Ron Johnson, who's a pretty kind of conservative, MAGA-type character. He's been really good on a bunch of issues where I sit, and he's a really interesting man. And he ends up there. And yet, these statewide races for governor and especially for the Supreme Court, they tend to slip towards the left. First of all, tens of millions of dollars on both sides spent from outside money. And on the left, there was Soros money. I mean, this is publicly acknowledged. Soros money and other money. On the Republican side, you had, the Trump machine, including Elon Musk. So it was a slugfest. Look, I got to tell you, the real story to me is that with record poll numbers for Trump and Democrats in the lowest poll numbers they had, what this shows is when Trump on the ballot, people turn out. When he's not, it's a harder slog. And I think of this sort of all of you, a pox on both your houses when you're politicians of either party, unless you're Trump. The Trump energy is whatever that number is to the side of the Republican Party. It's an extra 20% or 30%, and they just don't have the same intensity when he's not on the ballot. And so you have to plan on that. You have to see that. And I think the Democrats woke up in across the country saying, okay, as long as Trump's not on the ballot, we can try to roll this thing over. But again, to be clear, special elections are always funny. In Florida, the Republicans won 2 races where they were outspent 15-1. The opponent of the Republicans in both House races had more than $10 million, and the Republican had $1 million, and they still won, the Republicans. So in Wisconsin, more money spent for the Democrat, and they did hang on. So money matters in specials more than anything, but there's a little bit of a warning signal for Republicans, I think.
Yeah, and there's also the question, which is it the fact we really don't want to cut government waste, or is it maybe we want guys on the girls' teams, or do we want the gangs running wild? I don't understand how. Forget the party you're in, but can you say, well, I just couldn't vote for Republican. I disagree with all of that, but I just not gonna vote. I don't get that, Ed.
No.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, remember though, you have a different thing. You're asking people to vote. They're not seeing that when they see a woman judge who won the race versus a guy judge who lost. They're able to make those people look a lot more mainstream. You're not seeing and feeling that, I think, in terms of the messaging. So, right, I agree with you. If you said, well, let's look at these positions broadly, which one are you for? But that's not what happens in a race like this. I think it was Judge Crawford who won, and you're hearing that she's a mother and a grandmother, and she once was a prosecutor, and all this stuff that makes you think, well, that's not outside of the mainstream. I mean, so the numbers that I see that are, again, it doesn't mean much because it's not an election, but the public generally is supportive of the president, the direction of the president of the country that President Trump has been undertaking generally, right? So we'll see a big day today because the tariffs kick in, and a lot of people saying, well, what's that going to do to the economy and how's it going to play out? And there's never been a president in modern times who has been so of the tariffs and actually doing it. So it's kind of a big day. I don't think it'll play out today. I think it'll take a longer time than that, obviously, but it's certainly a big deal. And I think President Trump is sort of ready for that fight. He's wanted to talk about how we have to stand up for America on the economic front for a long time, and he's ready for it. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
You make a good point, though, Eddie. Actually, going back to what are they voting for, I think they're just missing that connection, which is all of the things that I'm concerned about are coming from the Democratic Party, and they'll stick together. No matter what the individual says, they seem to vote in a block. And so when you do see inflation, and you do see shutting down our energy, and you do see an open border, and you do see an issue between the sexes, and it's all being pushed by Democrats, even to the point of burning cars if they disagree, I don't know how you can't make the connection. Well, I like this girl, but man, I can't vote for a Democrat. That's kind of where I am. I'm actually a registered independent, but I'm like, wow, when are they going to get their act together over there? So I don't know how you can hang in there loyally when you see what's happening. I guess you have to have that bigger picture. You got to step out and say to your representative who's running as a Democrat, why are you in that party, and what is the party going to do about these things? I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
Yeah, I mean, the challenge from a policy standpoint, guys, is that, one party wins. Right now, it seems to be the rhythm that you end up with one party in charge of all the Congress as well as the presidency. So they get within some contours. They get to put their agenda out there and public can see it. The opposition is just, we're against that, and who are you for, right? So if the opposition and what you're against is AOC and Bernie Sanders traveling around the country saying, they're on a billionaire-funded a program, a tour funded by billionaires, as saying that they want to choose the people over billionaires. It's kind of an interesting way to fund your program, but I don't know that gives you the. I told you before, and it's just up the road from Stevie J and from the listeners. The man to watch is Rahm Emanuel. I told you guys this a year ago. Rahm Emanuel was chief of staff to Clinton, a congressman. Then he was the mayor of Chicago. Then he was just now the ambassador to Japan. He's back. He's writing a Washington Post column weekly, and he's going to signal how he's going to run for president. And he wrote his first column in the Washington Post about education and our kids. That's an issue that you'll get a lot of people looking up saying, I can tell you in Washington, D.C., which is where I'm most familiar with right now, the biggest problem we have in terms of everything, including crime, is especially violent crime, is our juveniles, because the juveniles are the sort of worst perpetrators, but they're protected by liberal laws that let them not get detained, and so they're in a cycle. And I would call it trafficking of young boys, if you could come up with a way to understand that, because it's adult males using young boys to perpetrate crimes, carjackings and violent crimes. And you look at it and you say, how can this be happening to us? And it's mostly minority kids. And part of the answer, of course, is one of the worst school systems that has ever been invented is Washington, D.C. schools. And you say, how do we have a system? So when a guy like Rahm Emanuel, big Democrat, partisan as can be, signals what he's looking at, that's a guy that knows what sells, right? That's the guy that knows what is going to play to the people in a way that it resonates. And so that's the kind of guy I watch and see. Not AOC, not Adam Schiff, but Rahm Emanuel.
It's Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney from Washington, D.C., ESPN 93.5. Brother Johnny, and I'm Stevie J. It's Wednesday. I didn't know the judiciary was supposed to be an unequal branch of government. Apparently, they're more powerful. I saw a meme that said President Trump will resign to become a judge and have a more powerful position. Explain what's happening and why they can slow walk everything because of these district federal judges.
Well, I mean, guys, it's important for the listeners to hear. A federal district judge in the Northern District of Illinois or where I was from, the Eastern District of Missouri, their jurisdiction is that area, right? The people of that area. That's sort of that's why we have districts. And when they have these nationwide bans, these injunctions that say, I'm the judge in Maryland and I'm going to say you're not allowed to have any money spent on transgender surgeries, I'm going to strike that down for the nation. You're like, wait a second, is that supposed to happen? It's not really supposed to happen. Now, some of these matters are actually, they come up in a way that they are being adjudicated correctly, but a lot of them aren't. And look, the one thing this president has been great about, and I think the public should hear it, he said, we're going to work within the system, right? I think people want Trump and others to say we're going to, not obey the law. No, every time, and by the way, my office handles a ton of these cases. We have to litigate these cases. You go to before the judge and you say, wait, you can't stop this. This is a proper executive role. And what happens generally is within a few weeks, the law gets changed. The judge changes his mind and allows it to go forward. That's happened in USAID. That happened in this Institute for Peace. That you have the judge says, well, I enjoined it for a few weeks to make sure you were allowed to do it, and you are. And so you go forward. But the more interesting and I think thoughtful consideration is how much you can tie up the functioning of government, like the Lilliputians, tied up Gulliver, in that famous story, thousands and thousands of tiny threads that end up tying the giant down. And that's the thing that I think is an intentional strategy described by the opponents of Trump, that they're going to do it this way. And we become such a litigious society. We become such a place where we use lawfare and lawsuits against people we don't like. Even if we can't win, we just do it to tie them up. That it looks like an imbalance. And I think that's what a lot of people are concerned about right now. So, I'm confident and optimistic that we're seeing the right progress to get through that, but I'm not entirely certain.
Well, and I don't know whether the Supreme Court will help or not, but I do think that there should be a limit to what a district judge can do from a nationwide standpoint. But maybe there are cases you can streamline to the Supreme Court. We seem to have a lot of questions for them, and that takes a while usually. And that's time is of the essence. That was the attorneys that came up with that one, Ed. Time is of the essence.
Yeah. Well, right. we're trying to watch everything, and it's really hard to watch everything. The impact of these tariffs, if they do go through, Ed, what do you think?
Well, look, what I think is awesome is, for too long, the American people didn't see that we already were paying a price for offshoring. That, in other words, our economic opponents were already, sort of charging us, often tariffing us, but also charging us for, building into it. So, doing something that makes us understand the impact of of so-called free trade. I think it's an important moment in our history. In other words, you can be America first and want things built here, and recognize that it's actually even going to cost a little more or cost differently, and you can be okay with that if you understand it. If you don't understand it, you're like, why is my stuff at Walmart not cheaper? I want to pay $8 for a lawn chair to watch my kid play soccer, and why am I paying $12? And the answer is because they're making the one for $8 in China, and they're making it for $2 and making all the money on you. So I think we're in a sort of teaching moment for the country, and I just think we have to be willing to figure it out, because we do need American jobs. You cannot live in a country where the jobs keep going overseas. There's not enough robots. There's not enough AI. There's not enough, sit at your desk jobs to make a culture and a country work. So I think it's a big moment, but I won't say it's with no risk. I mean, I think it's going to be, and the media is going to want to make it confusing. So it's not going to be entirely without sort of some level of what's going on here. But if there's ever been a man that could sell it and explain it and make you feel it, it's Donald Trump. And I think that's where we're at.
Yeah, I think a lot of our problems are just we're fighting ourselves from the inside, and we always knew that. We always collapse from the inside because it's our own resistance that keeps us from these common sense moves. Steve, what people don't realize, let's say we figure out how to sell something into China, but no one's buying. Well, they added a 200% tariffs. Well, well, wait a minute. We're going to put 200% on yours. What? We're going to 300. Okay, we'll go to 300. Okay. Let's go to no tariffs. And that's what we want. Yeah. It's a reciprocal tariff. He's saying, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it. We don't need them at all if you want to go that right. And we might see where there's some sort of justified imbalance, Ed, where we'll go with, okay, we'll still go to zero tariffs on yours, even though you're giving us a 15% tariff because of wages or whatever. But mostly we want an even free trade. If it's free trade, it needs to be free trade and it needs to be fair. Period.
Right.
All right. Well, I mean, Ed, you're enjoying your new job, I trust, but it is, in fact, somewhat busier and more hectic, is it not?
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, it's a job that requires a different kind of presence, in terms of, like, my family. I generally go in earlier and get home. We have dinner a little bit later, and so it's, kind of a lot of the things come to me. So I'm not in my old position. I was out and about a little bit more, and so it's different, but it's as you mentioned, it's a wonderful opportunity. I mean, the thing. Remember, for the listeners, like this office, DC U.S. Attorney, half of the office is actually a local DA. It's like the Cook County DA. I mean, we have murders and we have burglaries and so that's half the office. So a lot of complicated work to try to make DC safe. And last Thursday night, President Trump signed an executive order make DC safe and beautiful again, and it had very specific, charges in it about how we want to make DC safer. We want to kind of do things to help improve the way people are living here. And so that part of the job is really, really interesting. Then the other half of the job is a classic federal prosecutor's office with lots of, complicated federal issues that are even more amazing because we're in Washington, D.C. So it's a great chance to be able to do my part, and I am enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad you're there, and I've got great confidence in you.
Yes, we do, sir.
Yeah, we're sleeping like a baby out here.
Oh, yes, very much. And do your 4 kids still ask you about Elon Musk?
Yeah, well, of course. That's all they care about. At one point, Elon was. This is a few weeks ago. Time is like time warp. Elon mentioned that he said I would donate some of the cyber trucks to the Metropolitan Police Department if they'd want them. And I said I'll buy them and I'll donate them. So it's not like they're coming from the company. That I'll do it myself. And so I went home that day, and I wasn't sure how you could do that, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But my kids were like, "Oh, just Dad, take one of the cyber trucks and bring it home." Well, we were driving around the neighborhood. I was like, "Okay, that's not. If I was in Cook County as a prosecutor, I could do that.
Yeah,
that's
right.
the kind of thing that's there. But that's not. By the way, I do know. I don't know him yet well, but I do know that the Northern District of Illinois, the guy who's going to be the federal prosecutor in Chicago, is somebody I know through a few folks, and so he got appointed and is going to get in place, and he's a good guy. So
awesome.
I'll make sure to give you an update on that. Yeah, I think he's a serious, smart guy that'll do good things for Chicago. So
thanks for the heads up there on Rahm. We'll keep an eye on Rahm.
He's got to go through J.B. Pritzker, baby.
Well, that's another thing for him. But I think Ed, you're right.
That'll be a hot night through butter. J.B. Pritzker won't survive Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel will cut him up in pieces.
Wow.
From Pritzker will have the money, but that's a no-brainer. Rahm is the real deal. I mean, I don't like his politics, but he's not going to bring a gun to he's not going to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
No, I know. He's got to watch out for. Thanks for that. Hey, Ed Martin, we appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for being on. We love talking to you.
Good talking to you, Ed. Thanks.
All right, guys. Take care. God bless.
God bless you. Ed Martin, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Now weather with our meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
At the end of the week, it's the MLK March for Peace on April 4th. And if you want the Safe Sitter Life Skills and Childcare Training course, that comes your way Saturday. Details at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Freeze on Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis. Saturday, active and moisture-laden to say the least. A very windy and much warmer day ahead with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms here. Mid to late morning with some heavy downpours of rain. Those storms are back in mid to late afternoon and evening time. Those could grow strong and severe. South wind gusting 50 miles per hour later on this afternoon. 72, a warmer day. Down tonight to 50 with a strong southwest wind gusting to 45 miles per hour. Showers and thunderstorms could be severe this evening. For the day tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, cooler at 63. A little rain early, more so in the afternoon. A couple of showers and 45 tomorrow night. And a Friday outlook of showers and some heavier downpours with a couple of thunderstorms Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning. 61 on Friday, 54 on Saturday, breezy, and a couple of showers here Sunday morning. Highs near 55, a little rain snow mix on Monday morning at 48. Frost and freeze Tuesday and Wednesday morning with highs in the low 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, our friend is Steve Suderman. He's over at Good Vibes. That's in the Round Barn. Get your big TVs, your big sound systems. Big time dude. Went to Nashville, hanging out till 2 in the morning, probably. All that stuff.
This boy, you think?
I was waiting for a response because 10 o'clock is like late anymore.
I know it.
Man. It's crazy. How are you,
and those
buddy?
meetings start early. I mean, this was a working trip, and we got to see what Sony's going to do. We got to see what Samsung's going to do. I was a little surprised LG did not bring much of anything to the party because I don't think they've landed their new stuff yet. I think they saved the buck on the cost of the booth. But so the big guys were there mostly in force. And that was well. Happy birthday, by the way!
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hey, I wondered. I'm trying to come up with $1 billion idea. What about you, me, Mike Roy, making TVs in our garage, made in America? Oh yeah.
It remains to be seen. But the last TV maker, remember, quality goes in before the name goes on. They had that big sign up on I-94 that was one of the early lit up glowing signs, and that was 35 years ago.
Wow. So I mean, obviously, Zenith, Motorola, and all that stuff's gone, right? Nothing's left, right?
Long gone. Zenith got absorbed by LG early on, and that's how they got into the country. So I'm looking at the transfer portal, and boy, it's Merez and Trey moving on. That stuff. Can you imagine Indiana? They have a new coach and no team.
No team.
I mean,
every player left.
I mean, almost. Yeah, everybody either left or graduated.
Hey, we got Jake Davis and Ty Rogers for sure. Yes, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Do we have Ty Rogers?
He announced last night. Last night. Yeah, great news. Great news.
Well, good news. In Indiana, they start shooting hoops when they're 10 years old or less. And meanwhile, Illinois has become a football school. I spoke to Kanena Odeluga, who's the linebacker. He did spots with. He'll be back.
All right.
And he's not a starter generally, but he got some reps in. This fall could be really fun. The tariff announcements that are going to come out this afternoon. Prices on Chinese products have already been affected. The TVs that come from Mexico, then that is Samsung, Sony, and LG. Kind of to be announced. They don't know yet what things are going to be. Sony has ramped up production, so they're bringing in as much stuff as they can and shoving it in across the border into the U.S. warehouses. They're already there. So they are promoting, which is, even though they don't know what things are going to necessarily cost in June, they got a full barn. So I was pitching the TV yesterday. I looked. The LG TV was now more expensive than the equivalent Sony. That never happens.
Wow.
It's usually the opposite.
Yeah, right.
And so Sony's gotten aggressive, even though their entry level receivers and their projectors, which are Chinese built, have already all gone up or are going up on Monday. So it's crazy time. But that promotion, you remember the TV Christian got? Those are on sale at least for a week or two. I ordered me a 77-inch OLED for my living room, and it's in a truck and on the way.
Yahoo!
Because I know it's going to go up.
Well, good for you. So can people take advantage of anything today? Could they call you today?
Yes. We have nothing has really been affected except the metal brackets and stuff we hang the TVs on. Those went up last month.
Okay.
As soon as the Chinese stuff got.
But if you're going to move on a 77-inch or a 98-inch television, I'd do it today. I mean, move it quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And we've got some display models and stuff that we need to move out of here, so we're giving away a few things.
All right. So what would we do to get hold of Steve Suderman at Good Vibes?
Visit us at 2010 Round Barn. Visit us virtually at gvibes.com. Or, you can call us at 3510909, and we'll give you the boop.
Well, appreciate you being back. Mike Roy did a wonderful job.
Yes, he did.
And Steve Suderman and I have been talking for how long?
He's good on the radio.
I know.
But you and I have been talking for decades, man. Decades.
I know that.
Wow.
That's very special to me.
It also means thank you. It also means I'm kind of in your age range. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
And a year older today, Stevie.
I know, catching you.
Hey,
thank you as always, Steve.
Thanks.
All right, Steve Suderman, Good Vibes, locally owned and operated for over 53 years.
Carolyn Castile Muhammad sent her happy birthday wish.
Well, Carolyn Castile has been a loyal listener of mine. I don't even know.
And that's been decades.
Like 4.
Right.
I mean,
for me, too. I've been with you since your WLRW days. When you were, on
you've been listening that long.
Absolutely. When you came
were a teenager,
and spoke at my
high school graduation.
I was like, Stevie. And I think you came and talked to my speech communication class.
I think I did that too. How old is Dirt? Okay. Holy cow.
I'm just blessed to have you in my life, and thank you for all you're doing and being a mouthpiece for so many positive things happening in our community.
Thank you for that, and I'm thankful to good Lord Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, the God in heaven, the Holy Spirit. I'm telling you what, I'm at this whatever age I am, and I'm feeling great, and I'm promoting exercising as a really valuable tool in your life to get your body moving, because if you do that, you're bound to feel a little bit better, but it's hard.
Well, and to have such a great family chapter with your mom around and a new grandbaby,
you bet.
Little Josephine Gray.
We'll be right back. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's Liberation Day in America. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump posted that this morning, all caps, on Truth Social as he readies new tariffs on countries that charge for American exports.
We are focused on restoring the golden age of America and making America a manufacturing superpower.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt at the White House, where Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports.
There will be some kind of new charge applied to all countries coming today, as well as sector-specific tariffs. Steel and aluminum imports are already subject to a 25% charge, and 25% will also be applied to auto imports starting tomorrow. That includes auto parts.
But there is concern, especially on Wall Street, where futures are falling, about tariffs leading to more inflation. Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna tells Fox.
We made a colossal mistake in this country with 90,000 factories shutting down, leaving for China, leaving for Mexico. The problem I have is that there's not a comprehensive plan.
Democrats scored a win in Wisconsin, electing Judge Susan Crawford to the state Supreme Court, beating conservative Brad Schimmel in a very expensive race, attempting to shift the court's balance to the right.
And it seems Wisconsin voters weren't really swayed by the star power of Elon Musk. In fact, a lot of them said that they were pushing back at the idea of a rich outsider coming in, spending money to try to impact the Wisconsin vote. It was also the first time Wisconsin liberals had an opportunity to push back at Donald Trump.
That's Fox's Mike Tobin in Madison. Republicans did win 2 special elections in Florida for 2 vacant seats in Congress, giving the GOP a slightly bigger House majority now at 220 seats. It's up to nearly 3,000 people dead in the Burma earthquake disaster.
While most rescue teams are only pulling bodies from the rubble, a 26-year-old man has been found alive in the wreckage of the hotel where he worked. It's 5 days since Burma and neighboring Thailand were hit by a 7.7 magnitude quake. International aid efforts are continuing.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
And back to the tariff concern on Wall Street. Stocks could drop again. Dow futures down more than 300 points, more than 200 for NASDAQ futures. There's a hearing Friday as controversy still swirls over deportation flights of alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador. One of them is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement admits it made an administrative error deporting him, a legal U.S. resident with an American wife and children. He's never been charged with a crime, and Garcia's lawyers want a judge to bring him back from the El Salvador jail where he's housed. But the White House says they won't bring him back, that Garcia belongs there. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt insists.
Was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number 1. Fact number 2, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking.
Now, an update on someone else the Trump administration is trying to deport.
A New Jersey judge has ruled jurisdiction over the case of Mahmoud Khalil should remain in New Jersey since Khalil was being held there at the time his lawyers filed their petition demanding his release. Khalil, a legal U.S. resident, was detained by ICE March 8th in the lobby of his Columbia University-owned apartment. He was the first arrest under President Trump's promised crackdown on students who took part in pro-Palestinian protests. A day later, he was flown to an immigration detention center in Louisiana, which his lawyers say was done to manipulate federal jurisdiction of the case. The Justice Department attorney had said transferring the case to Louisiana was necessary for jurisdictional certainty. The judge dismissed that argument. Lisa Lacera, Fox News.
Actor Val Kilmer has died.
You see, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Kilmer also played Jim Morrison in The Doors, Doc Holliday in Tombstone, and Iceman in Top Gun, reprising that role in his last performance in the sequel a few years ago with a voice weakened by throat cancer. Val Kilmer's daughter says he died of pneumonia at the age of 65. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. In Urbana, thousands of books on sale for just $1 or $2 each. You see Books to Prisoners, hoping to raise money to keep sending books to inmates throughout the state. Incarcerated people write to them asking for types of literature, and volunteers match them with books. Since January, they have sent out 1,600 books across the state. A Mohammed Seymour school bus involved in a crash in North Mohammed on Monday. It happened on Illinois Route 47 at County Road 2600 North. The car rear-ending the bus. 3 people were aboard the bus at the time, a driver and 2 students. Good news, no injuries. University of Illinois is celebrating 100 years of historic George Huff Hall. Huff has hosted hundreds of sporting and campus events over the decades. The hall, originally named New Gymnasium when it opened in 1925, New Gymnasium renamed George Huff Gym in 1937 after the longtime Illinois athletic director who died back in 1936. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All righty, into our 8 o'clock hour. I am Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
Our meteorologist, Greg Solier. Times like this, we're sure glad we have meteorologist Greg Solier to give us some information about kind of a little Sunday duplicate, maybe kind of turbulent weather on our way, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Another large sprawling circulation, wind advisories in effect, storms back to the west, and you want me to run with it here? Or
I will say you are brought to you by Busey for over 155 years, member FDIC, and Watts Copy Systems. They offer cost-efficient solutions for busy offices. Call them for a free evaluation. Save some money. 217-352-0428 for Watts Copy Systems.
And Greg, since I know we missed your birthday, it's Stevie's birthday today.
Well, it is.
I think.
Happy birthday
thank
there,
you.
young man.
When was yours? March what?
10.
And Diane's the 17 April.
Yes.
We're just all within a month.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that? Hey, appreciate that, and thankful to be alive. So
And many, many, many more, yes.
Yes, thank you, sir. Well, now you can detail your brilliance with the details of our weather.
Well, Grace will get in, no problem. I think
Thank you.
Issues checked off the box.
Issue 1. Forget everything else. Grace is driving from Cincinnati to Champaign. Looks good. It's just like a upside down horseshoe right now. Man.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly right. That stuff that you see up north of Chicago, Milwaukee, then trailing back southeast into Ohio is actually on the move. Those cells are dropping northwest to southeast, but everything kind of moving southwest to northeast. I'll explain it later. In any event, that's moving away. The stuff is weakening for now, mushrooming out and becoming more of a heavy rain event in northeastern parts of Missouri, far western Illinois, and eastern Iowa. I think that will come in here for the late morning, maybe around lunchtime. A shower, thunderstorm, a couple of downpours. That'll be mainly, again, for the late morning, around lunchtime hour or so. And then I think we ramp things up here in the mid to late afternoon this evening as the dynamics get into the system in this range of temperatures again. 70 at St. Louis, 60 at Tuscola, and 45 over at Kankakee. We sit at 52 at Willard and Savoy, up to 72. But we've got a wind advisory in effect here. That will mean a wind gusting 45 to 50 miles per hour. That's apart from any thunderstorms. And they will be in here for the mid to late afternoon, early on tonight. A weather watch is likely. The greatest risk of widespread severe weather, a high risk, is south of I-64. There will be a significant severe weather outbreak there and some stronger storms here, again, in the later afternoon and early on tonight. Low down to 50 as that southwest wind gust of 45 miles per hour diminishes and turns turn westerly. For the day tomorrow, a little rain early, more likely late in the day at 63. And then by Friday into Saturday, there's a boundary setting up. It shifts to the north. Polar jet drops in. All the meteorology means is it's a heavy rain event then between late Friday night, and Saturday. 1 to 2 from the storms today. Another 2 or 3 from the stuff later on this week. There may be a half a foot in the next 5 days. 54 the high on Saturday. Sunday high at 55. A couple of showers. A little wet snow Monday morning. Yep, 48 and then chilly but drier weather gets going Tuesday and Wednesday with highs north of 50. For Stevie G Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Well, remember, we carry the Chicago Bears here on QQB. That's Q96.1. The Bears are, excited for their new coach, Ben Johnson, defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen from the New Orleans Saints. Mm-hmm. Johnny's in town. What are the Saints going to be?
Well, we got Kellen Moore.
He's the head coach. He was the Dallas coordinator? No.
Oh, he was the Philadelphia offensive
Eagle coordinator. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Bears will be on radio all fall, and we're anticipating a playoff run. That's what the optimism is saying out of Chicago with their Caleb Williams quarterback, a little better front line. They got a couple of guys. So anyway, Bears on Q96 when you're all harvesting in September.
I'll tell you, every game's a playoff run, Steve. All 32 teams starting on opening day.
That's right.
It's your playoff run.
Undefeated.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right, good to have you listening. It's 10 after 8. Had a good talk with Ed Martin last half hour, U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., and he really does like being on. He's not doing much media. I don't see him anywhere. MSNBC's hitting him pretty hard. Okay, Champaign County election yesterday. I have a few of the highlights. If you have something to add, we're happy to put it on. I'm having a hard time finding information. Anyway, Champaign Unit 4 School Board, the leading people right now is Fatima Ahmad, Justin Michael Hendricks, Roselle Bozell, and Mark Holm. Is that right? School boards. That was a 2-year term. Okay, Mark Holm was
right.
Then let me read that. The Fatima had 5,300 votes. Justin had 5,000 votes. Roselle had 4,300 votes. Mark Holm at 3,000 votes. Those are the totals. I don't know how many get in. 2 maybe. I'm not sure the 2-year versus 4-year terms. In the Unit 4 School Board 4-year term, leading vote getter was Christy Arnold, followed by Tony Bruno. Then it was Grace Young King, Charles Gerald Young, Al Molina, Ronald Baker, and Carl Geisler following down on the vote totals there.
Right.
Mayor Rantoul, it's 6 votes, Johnny. 579 to 573 was still mail-in to count.
Right. Incumbent Chuck Smith currently down by a margin of 6, and District 5 trustee Samuel Hall III is the other person that was on the ballot in that.
Okay.
Looks like 70% of the vote goes to John Brown in the village of Savoy. And,
that's a Savoy Village president over Jan Carter Nickum. Mm-hmm. Tolono Village president looks like Terrence Stuber beat Gary Mitchell by about 30 votes.
Right.
So your vote counted more. Now,
that's right.
In Philo, I know that when I voted here, because you can vote anywhere, they just print out your ballot. They had 250 mid-late afternoon in Philo voting. So it sounds like a lot.
Well, we had actually only one contest. It was Tommy Meharry and Chris Luth for the road commissioner.
Did not
which
hear.
I haven't heard.
No, I think, again, it's not over the night of the election like it used to be.
Right.
You got counting going on. Is it 2 weeks?
It is. The official state election results won't be certified until the end of April, as they've got the mail-in ballots that have been postmarked on Election Day and can be counted within the next 2 weeks.
And that's actually something I've heard from all corners of the country is that discussion, which is we can't keep doing. How do you know these votes that you're counting next week were really votes that were cast the day of the vote?
Right.
And I guess there's a way to do it, but it is a question.
I just have.
And when you 10 days into it and you say, "Oh, here's two more boxes," you do wonder, "Whoa, how do we know those are real?" Votes are just someone made up the vote. Because you can get the ballot.
A lot of trust in this process.
And that's I'm afraid that's where I get off the train because I trusted the Astros. They cheated.
Yep.
I trusted Lance. I love Lance Armstrong.
Yes.
Cheated.
That's right.
And you're going to tell me, oh, well, they were going for a medal, John.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to take over the world.
Yeah. Right.
That's what you're doing with the vote.
I think I would.
So you can't. Trusting's great, but you got to verify. Trust and verify.
I would sound very old with this, but if we can go to the moon, can't we at 9 o'clock at night know who won?
Well,
maybe
all
10 o'clock.
We all know that there are people pushing ways to make it easier to commit voter fraud. You'd expect that, and we've kind of, I think it's just sloppy talking about. Forget about accusing anyone of anything. When you have no real way of verifying certain approaches, you need to tighten it up. I don't think that's radical
But
at all.
if it's a felony to vote more than once knowingly, obviously. But if I go to Philo and get a ballot and go to Champaign and give my name, do they know I voted in Philo that day? Probably not.
Well, you shouldn't do that, and that's what they're relying on.
They're relying. It's a felony, and you can go to prison for those kinds of things. But I'm just wondering, what is the checks and balances?
I talked to a friend of mine who's an election judge, and I can vote in Champaign County. I just show my Louisiana license and my home electric bill and say, yeah, I'm taking some classes in Illinois. Done. That's legal. Illinois has done nothing wrong.
But that's a felony because
for me.
We're not.
It's my problem, but you can't stop me from doing it. And who's going to go find me and say, hey, wait a minute. I know he shouldn't have voted. Now, in my case, yeah, I might get caught.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it.
That's right. All right. Quick check of your morning sports, if you'd like. ESPN 93.5. Text in on the Fisher National Bank text line, 217-359-2255.
Well, one of the trending stories in Illini Nation is the transfer portal. And just to keep you up to date, Johnny, Marez Johnson Jr. decided to enter the transfer portal, and now we thought it was an April Fool's Day joke, but no, he's landed at Michigan.
Well, I was in the emergency room earlier because of that. But I got a little dizzy and nauseous.
I see.
Why Michigan?
Wolverine.
That's the worst.
Plus, they got a really good coach.
Well, he's good. Marez did a great job.
He is, but they got Dusty May, who's a great coach. So
I
Michigan's
know
the
that.
thing, and Marez is going to Michigan.
I don't want to hear.
Kansas wanted him. Why did he go to
I don't want to hear it.
Well, we did beat him by 20.
You're right.
Yeah,
Michigan.
right.
So
Man.
I'm going to rest my laurels on that, and we're going to have probably a pretty new team ourselves, but we might have a couple really key guys back.
Would you take Thomas Isevich's brother if he's not as good as Thomas?
Well, I probably would consider
Big
that
Z.
very seriously. Yeah, the two of them could end up with like a 3-man, 2-man front together as two brothers.
That's right.
7'2".
You know, it's,
And plus, we got a 7'2" guy that's coming off red shirt. We're going to be tall if we got.
well, I tell you,
And
when
Ty Rogers is returning.
Yeah, that's big.
and if we're talking basketball, our Philo superstar there at Illinois State University, who plays tonight in the
I.S.
Final Four
Elise Knudsen.
for the NIT women.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
So I got a text from my friend Heather saying she now has a record at ISU for the most three-pointers in a single season.
Man.
90.
That's amazing.
Good shooting. Good shooting. Anyway, great story, and hope they win. And if they do win, they're trying to get the championship in Bloomington Normal. You can bid on it, so that's cool. Yeah.
In the NIT, we have UC Irvine and Chattanooga that will be playing for the championship tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, since we're on the basketball topic. As we pivot now to baseball, Illinois baseball beat ISU yesterday 8-2. They're 15-11 on the season. 3 runs in the second, 5 runs in the seventh. 8 pitchers rotating in and out in that game. Illinois softball over Western Illinois 7-6. Illinois softball 14-17 on the season. Illinois golf did well in the Memphis Intercollegiate, and this weekend we'll head to Augusta.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great?
They don't play there. They play at Augusta, but not the
Augusta
Masters.
I consider that my home
Okay.
court. I consider that my home course.
Johnny's played there twice. Wow.
Nice. And there was an NBA record set yesterday, 61 points, a triple-double from Jokic, but Timberwolves ended up beating the Denver Nuggets 140-139 in double overtime.
Gee, man.
But he had 52 minutes. The coach was like,
No,
he's
he's
I'm in the
Iron
zone.
Man.
I'm in the zone. I want to go.
7 foot, isn't he?
Man.
Yeah. No, he does everything. But I got a question, too, Diane. We're 5 games into the baseball season. Anybody batting 1,000? Anybody?
That's Jacob Hurtubise,
Oh, that's right.
Cincinnati
I
Reds.
knew there was somebody.
That's right.
I love
That's
it.
great, Steve. He got up. He's been on 3 times, but yesterday
he got hit by a pitch, walked, and then now is a base
he hit a liner to right.
And got on first, was a tying run in the bottom of the ninth, and they couldn't get him over, and they couldn't quite score. But Evaldi, Nathan Evaldi is a longtime superstar pitcher. He was awesome with the complete. The Reds only had 4 hits.
Here's baseball, Diane. 14-4. Reds cream them. Next day, 1-0. They
I
lose.
know. Isn't it crazy?
That is.
Cubs won yesterday,
You should carry
7-4 with a 2:35 start on US 105.9. Angels over St. Louis in 11 yesterday. 12:15 start on ESPN 93.5 with Sunny Gray on the bump.
Okay, we're going to check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Soya. There's stuff. And by
There's some
stuff,
stuff,
it
all right.
could be kind of bells and whistles tonight. 50-mile-an-hour winds coming.
Could be
today.
Looking to clean out the basement to find seating in my basement.
Oh, boy. All right, it's 8:19. Here's Greg.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign and vicinity. Stay up to date. Later forecast right here. Watches and warnings are expected. And already a wind advisory with a south wind gusting to 45 to 50 miles per hour later on this morning and this afternoon. A much warmer day. A couple of periods of showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well with a heavy downpour this morning. And severe weather lurks for the afternoon with a couple of thunderstorms too. Highs up to 72. Strong, maybe severe thunderstorms in parts of the area early on tonight. Lows near 50. Southwest wind gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour. Diminishing on the overnight. Cooler tomorrow, clouds and a bit of rain late morning, moisture for the afternoon at 63. A couple of showers and 45 tomorrow night. More rain for Friday, especially in the afternoon. Friday night and Saturday, that could turn heavy. Highs up to 61 on Friday. A Saturday high 54. A couple of showers early Sunday and a rain snow mix Monday morning. We turn cooler into the first half of next week as well. 55 on Sunday, upper 40s on Monday. High temperatures low and mid 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. Frost and freeze in the morning as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Fighting Illini fans, your Illinois football team is coming off a 10-win season as Citrus Bowl champs. This fall, Illinois returns 18 starters from the Citrus Bowl victory, including star quarterback Luke Altmaier for a 3rd straight season. Led by head coach Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini are listed on nearly every major top 25 ranking for the 2025 season. Stay up to date on all things Fighting Illini football at fightingillini.com. We can't wait to see you back in Memorial Stadium this fall.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling.
It is time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We ask people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
I'm having what she's having. It's a quote from a 1989 film starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. Name the film.
E.T. When Harry Met Sally.
You got it. When Harry Met Sally.
Either way you did, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.box. Then come back here to see how you did.
Thank you for taking the quiz.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I've met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
In 1925, a small plumbing company began its journey in Urbana, Illinois. Over the decades, the business grew thanks to hard work and great people. In 1966, things changed when Dave Reichard, a veteran, met veteran Ken Asklin, who was an architectural engineering grad from Illinois. The two realized their shared vision for excellence. Their partnership took root, and in 1975, the name changed to A&R Mechanical. With Dave as president and Ken as vice president, A&R Mechanical expanded services, becoming the go-to full-service contractor for all of Central Illinois. A&R went from a plumbing-only contractor to a full-service mechanical contractor with their own sheet metal shop. Today, A&R is a plumbing, heating, ventilation service company with the same excellence in customer service as they provided nearly 100 years ago. Design, build, and maintain. That's what served A&R Mechanical for nearly 100 years. Find them at Lincoln and Kettering in Urbana or online at ar-mech.com.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. All right, 25 after 8. I am Stevie J. There's Johnny and Diane's here.
Good morning.
It is April 2nd. It is Wednesday. Glad to have you along.
Happy birthday again, Steve.
Yes. New Year of life, all that.
Thankful to be alive.
God bless you.
Thank you. He has. I'm just happy to still want to come to work every day and enjoy this. It's just I'm worried at some point I should be yanked, and maybe some believe that has happened years ago, but I need to get off. It's like a quarterback, when you can't play anymore. So when I suck, let me know.
I'll talk to you after the show, Steve.
Anyway, it's a pleasure.
No, I think you're doing great, and many happy returns.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you need to hear all kinds of different views, and I think you throw some out there. And
there's nobody doing it around here.
You're probably would be considered right of center.
Yeah, I'm definitely right, but I think I'm right of common sense. I mean, I think you start with does this make any sense? And there's so much, and I'm blaming the progressive. I'm not blaming my friends who are Democrats for 50 years.
No, I have to agree 100%. I'm at a point where let's forget the right or left. Let's discuss from a liberal and conservative standpoint. How do we close our border? Don't discuss no border. Okay, now we haven't even gotten to right or left.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You have to have a border for a country, and you see what happens when we don't.
It was they gave Social Security numbers to over 2 million people in 1 year with Joe Biden. 2 million Social Security numbers to illegal people. What sense does that make?
Well, it's not a sense. That's against the law too. And then
you can ignore certain laws, I guess.
Well, we do it all the time, and that's been done with everybody. And again, I think that's when once you agree, okay, how do we stop doing that? You don't argue. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You must be a racist if you think we can't hand out Social Security numbers. Okay, I don't think that's a right or left thing. That's nuts versus save the country. And then I'd like to get back to liberal conservative, which might be Adlai Stevenson and Dwight D. Eisenhower, who Adlai might have said, I think we need to hit the French coast here. It makes more sense to me. Well, that's not bad. We thought about that. We're going to go here.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, right. No, it's just
World War II.
But you've got to be able to tell the Jasmine Crockett's and the AOCs and the Bernie Sanders, believe what you want to believe, but don't drag the Democratic Party through it all. I mean,
and as badly as mainstream media does, that is the real problem, because they are legitimizing it. There's enough people. It's only 10 dozen that say yes, burn the cars when you do, which is what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They may say, well, I don't know about burn the car, but they don't say this is crazy.
No, right. Because they'll be creamed by their
because of that, there's this level of confusion and a real division. And then most of the time we're arguing about something that really isn't even part of the
But don't you think,
serious approach to the problem.
if they don't change by 2026, they're not going to win midterms.
Well,
with this, are they?
well, you know what, Steve? How did the liberal judge win in Wisconsin? Because there's enough people to say, look, I don't know about cutting government. Well, I don't know what they're thinking. There's something they don't like. They want to stick with the more liberal side. They don't like conservative thinking or that particular candidate. Who knows?
But you got the House and Senate in Wisconsin Republican.
The House and
Didn't
the
make
Senate.
much sense to me. I don't get it.
This midterm's big, I will admit, because if the progressives leading the Democratic Party the way they are lose the midterms after this last election, I think finally more centered people will take over the party again.
But if they win, we're back. Kamala Harris, impeachment, all this stuff going to happen. So
exactly.
Well,
Well,
could
okay.
Susan Crawford be, tapped as the winner in Wisconsin when we're all waiting for a couple of weeks
She's
to tabulate
ahead
the...
by 10 points. It's at like 50.
Okay.
1.2 to 1 million.
And she was the liberal versus a more conservative. There was a lot of attention on that race anyway.
For sure.
But the Florida...
Elon throwing his money
The Florida,
Well,
on
George
the other hand,
George Soros put in the money. And J.B. Pritzker, by the way.
I see.
No, well, there's a lot of that going on, and I think that works on both sides. But the Democrats usually come with a lot more money, and you can see it doesn't always
But
work.
I think the true bellwether was Florida, where they outspent the Republican Congress that were taken for the cabinet for Trump. They had two special elections, and both Republicans won easily by 10 points.
And they spent
outspent
10 to 1.
Yeah, 15 to 1 is what Ed said.
Okay.
So that's like 15 million to 1 million on a House race, and they got creamed. And everyone said, we're going to win those. They got creamed. So that's a true keep control of the House kind of a move. And so yeah, we'll just continue to watch this thing. But yeah, midterms are far away.
And there's some more discussion about, for instance, California counts 60 days after the vote, and there's 3 or 4 seats out there that kind of switched through the weeks.
No, you can go
through the weeks and months.
You can go.
California finally got the Democratic candidate more votes.
Here's our news. We'll be right back to continue.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Republicans pick up 2 more seats in the House. Randy Fine wins the special election to fill a seat vacated by Trump National Security Advisor Mike Waltz in Florida.
I have now gotten your vote because President Trump asked you to vote for me. But now it's incumbent upon me over the next 2 years to show you that I am worthy of that trust.
Also in Florida, Jimmy Petronis wins the seat vacated by Matt Gaetz. Judge Susan Crawford's win in Wisconsin maintains a 4-3 liberal majority on the state Supreme Court.
I will be a fair, impartial, and common sense justice.
She accused Elon Musk of trying to buy the election for her opponent, Brett Schimmel. Actor Val Kilmer died, 65 years old, here back as Iceman in the Top Gun sequel.
The Navy needs Maverick.
He mostly lost his voice to throat cancer treatment. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, this is Chris Vandeventer with Philo Exchange Bank. We defined hometown banking for 14 decades, weaving a legacy of trust and dedication. We believe in the power of a community where every neighbor is a member of our family and not just another name. Unlike many other banks, our lending decisions are made within the walls of the bank. Quite simply, local banking means you get what you need quickly and efficiently.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
You've heard about the doggy bag, right? From Bulldog Disposal Muhammad, a 6 cubic yard canvas bag that can be used for easy cleanup instead of a big dumpster. The one-time use bag is now available, and you can save the delivery charge. Get the doggy bag at Do It Best Hardware in Champaign at 107 West Springfield. So fill up the bag, call Bulldog Disposal, have it disposed of, and you'll be organized. Go to bulldoggybag.com for all the details. That's bulldoggybag.com.
Here's a look at local news. A Muhammad Seymour school bus involved in a crash in North Muhammad on Monday. It happened on Illinois Route 47 at County Road 2600 North. The car rear-ending the bus. 3 people were aboard the bus at the time, a driver and 2 students. Good news, no injuries. University of Illinois is celebrating 100 years of historic George Huff Hall. Huff has hosted hundreds of sporting and campus events over the decades. The hall, originally named New Gymnasium, when it opened in 1925, New Gymnasium renamed George Huff Gym in 1937 after the longtime Illinois athletic director who died back in 1936. In Urbana, thousands of books on sale for just $1 or $2 each. UC Books to Prisoners, hoping to raise money to keep sending books to inmates throughout the state. Incarcerated people write to them asking for types of literature, and volunteers match them with books. Since January, they have sent out 1,600 books across the state. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
All right, check your weather this morning, brought to you by Kurt Lenschow. He's over at State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Kurt Lenschow and State Farm are there.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign and vicinity. Stay up to date. Later forecast right here. Watches and warnings are expected. And already a wind advisory with a south wind gusting to 45 to 50 miles per hour later on this morning and this afternoon. A much warmer day. A couple of periods of showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well with a heavy downpour this morning, and severe weather lurks for the afternoon with a couple of thunderstorms too. Highs up at 72. Strong, maybe severe thunderstorms in parts of the area early on tonight. Lows near 50. Southwest wind gust to 45 to 50 miles per hour, diminishing in the overnight. Cooler tomorrow. Clouds and a bit of rain late morning, moisture for the afternoon at 63. A couple of showers at 45 tomorrow night. More rain for Friday, especially in the afternoon. Friday night and Saturday, that could turn heavy. Highs up to 61 on Friday. A Saturday high 54. A couple of showers early Sunday, and a rain snow mix Monday morning. We turn cooler into the first half of next week as well. 55 on Sunday, upper 40s on Monday. High temperatures low and mid 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. Frost and freeze in the morning as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheese, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products, and complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing, too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands. You can count on my company because you can count on me.
Val Kilmer passed away.
Yeah, Val Kilmer was he was Iceman and Maverick. I mean, the Top Gun.
Yes, and then, actually in the latest Maverick,
yeah,
it was a great movie.
They had to do some computer work because he had throat cancer.
Right.
And he played a wonderful role for 5 minutes.
Did he play Batman? Was he Batman?
Yes, he was Batman. But the memorable role that I recall is The Doors when he was Jim Morrison. I mean, they said he studied and really got in character and just evolved this.
Something by a lion in the grass. Wasn't there a lion in the grass or something?
Maybe so.
I just know it was all drugs and rock and roll, right?
Right. And Tombstone, remember when he played?
Didn't see that.
Okay.
He had a lot of movies. Wyatt Earp and stuff.
Yeah. And then Batman Forever, not so much on the Batman.
Yeah,
that was 95.
Actor Val Kilmer died because of pneumonia coupled with the throat cancer. 65.
I know.
That's really young, isn't it?
As far as we're concerned,
that's right. It's really young.
When we were in high school, that seemed like it was pretty old.
Boy.
I know.
Man, get off your recliner, Bob. No, you're right. It's amazing. Anyway, good to have you along here. We've touched on basketball in the portal. Merez Johnson going to wear yellow. Ouch.
How about a stock tip, Steve?
Yeah.
Stock tip. No, I'm more asking this. I'm not necessarily go out and spend. I think Tesla might be a good buy.
Is that 200 and something?
It dropped way down.
Wasn't
over
it
this.
like 600 a share? I can't afford to buy very many shares.
It's gone at least half, and it's a good product. I think the electric cars are still good.
Can you get a chart of what it was? It probably was 600 or something. 500.
It was five anyway. But some texter will know. But I just think that kind of precipitous drop over a little bit of an artificial approach.
Apparently, they do know the ringmasters on the Molotov cocktails on my car thing. So, and then how about the people in Champaign-Urbana though? And Tesla's going to get keyed every day. I mean, there are people that are out looking for Tesla.
No, not in our community.
Well, I think that won't last long.
But see, to me, less than a year ago, we were getting pushed and shoved into buy electric cars, and now.
Well, here's the thing: without the mandates, Tesla's going to have less competition. So I think there'll be more cars to sell because people like them, and there are enough chargers around for the number of cars right now if you know how to manage it, especially large cities. So I think it might be a good stock investment.
Okay.
And I think Elon's going to last. I just read, Steve, that Elon and I together with $430 billion in change. I got the change, but I think he's going to last. I think he's solid.
I do too. A friend of mine said that he got in his car, his Tesla, and he programmed in Wrigley Field, Chicago, and the only thing he had to do was park it. He sat there watching all the stuff, but he didn't touch anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if your eyeballs...
And in Chicago and to go to Wrigley,
I
wouldn't have the guts for that.
Well, I mean...
I'd be sitting there with my hands ready to go, but...
He said it's perfect. He said if your eyeballs leave the road, the car does an alarm.
Yeah.
You can't read.
The Subaru does that.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So keep your eyes on the road. And it'll actually drive with drive assist, but then if you let it, it'll say, get your hands on the wheel.
Okay. So not quite all the way.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there'll be a time probably sooner than later in the next 5 years where I can get in my car at home and sit in the back seat and do work. I would try. I think they're doing...
As long as you don't start it, that's not a bad idea, Steve.
No, in Phoenix right now they have the
you're right.
driverless Ubers now.
I'll tell you what, I'm counting the days for them being our technology, our industries, our transportation system to have the big trucks, and I love truck drivers. Some of my best friends were truck drivers. The big trucks programmed at 70, all of them, quarter mile apart, no one's passing anybody.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you're just going to a drop-off point in the major city areas, and then lighter it around so that we can just have our interstates back. My goodness.
Well,
lots of trucking.
it's a lot of truckers I think they're all monitored now. So if you catch a truck passing a truck, it could take 10 minutes because they're at 69 miles an hour and they don't want to go 71.
Well, they can't actually. They've got governors on a lot of the engines, and so
so why would you pass? I agree. Space maybe.
Well, you can't see.
Yeah, right.
Just like I pass, I can't see anything.
Yeah, right.
And so. But if they were all over there on the right lane, we know they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We can just kind of chill.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
Because you don't know, too, when you're coming up, is he going to move over?
I know.
Do I have time to?
And especially when there is an emergency or something in the right hand.
Then they're supposed to go over.
I know.
So you have
but
to
see,
be.
sometimes you can't see that, and then, ooh, you're in a pinch.
Yeah,
So-
I have to.
I do go kind of fast past trucks.
No,
I
I speed up.
Yeah, me too.
And
That's
then
right.
I'll probably bump it over the speed limit a tad.
I see in this recent trips to Cincinnati, I saw a lot of trucks going off the road, like off on the right. I mean, not a little. It's like, what are you doing?
I know.
I don't know if they're tired or whatever.
Well, they've got that to where they're really limited in their hours in a 24-hour
Yeah, right,
period.
right.
But remember, growing up around here,
Yeah.
it was that it's a speed limit 60, 70 while passing. In other words, get around them if you're going to go.
Yeah.
Because that's a 2-lane highway.
Right.
But it also works when you have someone passing very slow. Cars do it too, Steve.
Yep.
And they start backing everybody up behind them.
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. Except if you're played wide receiver, you want separation. You
Yes.
gain separation.
That's
You know
it.
why? Because you won't get creamed by someone else if he's not around.
And it's the same
That-
on merging. Also, there's so many mishaps on the merging these days.
Well, if the person can't get over because the line on the left hand, then you got to slow down,
Right.
to merge in, even though you have the right of way. But
Right.
You got to help the guy.
I
Yeah,
know.
right,
Try to get
But
over.
some people
Let 'em
don't
get
help
in.
the
Main
guy.
thing.
You know.
But if you are
Speed
merging,
up. I know.
you've got to also, as the merger, look at what you got coming up. Kind of like what's the picture,
Right.
And don't stop whatever you do,
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
but
I was in the emergency lane just last weekend with my son Aiden and Muhammad because there was a train of people coming on the right lane and nobody was moving over.
yeah, you gotta get
What
over.
the heck?
All right, we got to go. Back in a moment, 8:46. Your lawn is an important investment. Let Spring Green take care of that lawn. Your local, family-owned and operated Spring Green has been committed to beautifying your neighborhood through quality, service, and professionalism. Spring Green's full program customers are backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Smart Money Magazine reports that consumers value a home with a well-maintained lawn and landscape up to 11.3% higher than the base price. Why don't you call Spring Green today, 359-2111, or visit them at spring-green.com.
We're back. We have Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the background?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Oh, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul. I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say,
"Wow."
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
It's time to plan your summer swimming season. Urbana Park District is selling pool memberships to Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. Memberships are on sale through April. The pool opens Memorial Day weekend. Single, family, senior, and veteran rates available. Purchase memberships in person at Phillips Recreation Center, 505 West Stoughton, or at Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center. Call 217-367-1544 for details. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Yeah, Pards has the largest boot selection in the state of Illinois, and they're in Urbana. You just drive down University. If you come up like Route 130, you go to University. It's tucked behind the car wash. Kind of block their whole. See me from University Avenue. On the other side, it's Main. And you go to Pards Western Shop, and you will not find a more authentic place for
the leather
horse gear.
smell is awesome.
And they've got saddles and horse bits.
Yeah, they started out as a tack shop.
No, they're terrific, and the largest boot selection in the entire state of Illinois. You got to go to Pards. It's locally owned and operated. The best boots you can buy. It's awesome. All right, we check your weather. Here's meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Freeze on Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Active and moisture-laden, to say the least. A very windy and much warmer day ahead with a couple of outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms here. Mid to late morning with some heavy downpours of rain. Those storms are back in mid to late afternoon and evening time. Those could grow strong and severe. South wind gusting 50 miles per hour later on this afternoon. 72, a warmer day. Down tonight to 50 with a strong southwest wind gusting to 45 miles per hour. Showers and thunderstorms could be severe this evening. For the day tomorrow, considerable cloudiness, cooler at 63, a little rain early, more so in the afternoon. A couple of showers and 45 tomorrow night, and a Friday outlook of showers and some heavier downpours with a couple of thunderstorms Friday afternoon, Friday night, and Saturday morning. 61 on Friday, 54 on Saturday, breezy, and a couple of showers here Sunday morning. Highs near 55, a little rain snow mix on Monday morning at 48. Frost and freeze Tuesday and Wednesday morning with highs in the low 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Well, tell me, Tim Onstad, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Okay, we are winding up the program. We thank you so much for listening. Any additional things we need to touch? I know Max took a whole bunch. I took a dozen computers that were super old. Max took them.
Oh, really?
Recycled them, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm understanding Goodwill takes computer screens.
Yes.
I didn't know you could get rid of those.
And, of course, if you have a big junk haul, 2 men in a junk truck, and they're going to have a big garage sale April 12th.
Well, just watch your weather this evening.
Yeah.
It's kind of like spotty, but could be rough here, but maybe not there. It's
here.
kind of coming.
That's it. And good luck with the birthday celebration throughout the day, Stevie J.
Go Illinois State Redbirds.
Yeah.
Women. Yes,
Women
that too.
Redbirds trying to get Elise Knutson from Philo a championship there in the WNIT. That's awesome. That's a really local tie here.
Absolutely.
Okay, we thank you, but again, keep your ears and eyes out open tonight. If we're going to be a little Sunday-like, it's going to be that kind of losing power and 50-mile-an-hour winds for sure. We touched 70 on Sunday. 70.
Day games today. Angels St. Louis 12:15 start here on ESPN 93.5. Over on US 105.9. Cubs and A's at 2:35.
All right, thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Johnny.
Great to be here. All right. Have a great day.
That's Brother Johnny, Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Meet you on the radio tomorrow, and have a great Wednesday.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
I love a great garage sale.
There's a big one coming up at 2 Men in a Junk Truck on Saturday, April 12th.
Oh, 2 Men in a Junk Truck does a great job for people downsizing and doing garage cleanout. I'll bet they have some really cool items for sale.
And when shoppers tap into the April 12th garage sale at 701 West Bradley in Champaign, purchasing treasures to take home will help the Movers for Moms, Courage Connection, and See You at Home.
I'll bet I can find more details online. 2menandajuncktruck.com.
Join Cunningham Children's Home on April 4th and 5th for the 21st Annual Festival of Quilts. It's a celebration you don't want to miss. Enjoy a stunning quilt show and sale, shop for home decor and gifts, enjoy home-baked treats from the bake sale, take a campus tour, and more. This tradition is more than just a festival, it's a chance to raise critical funds for the youth and families Cunningham serves each year. Don't miss the Festival of Quilts, April 4th and 5th. Visit cunningham.org to learn more.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Attention all truck drivers looking for a new opportunity with great pay and amazing benefits? Gail Frericks Trucking has got you covered. Join their team, receive a $4,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, $4,000 just for coming on board. Plus, enjoy a $1,200 gross weekly pay guarantee. Drive their state-of-the-art Freightliner Cascadia trucks equipped with a revolutionary system designed to reduce weight and downtime. Get home every weekend and some nights during the week with paid vacations and holidays. They offer company-sponsored health insurance and all the benefits you deserve. Regional drivers get first priority. Don't wait. Apply in person at Dedicated Diesel, 1313 Triumph Drive, Urbana, or call Tim at 765-505-1295. That's 765-505-1295.